Doug and PA back with another video. So I haven't covered Portland in a while. This is an update. We all know that Portland passed their daytime camping ban, trying to get all the tents off the sidewalks during the day, and that caused an uproar. Well, now Portland sent a survey to Portlanders asking what their biggest issues are, and of course, no shock at all that homelessness and safety from the homeless is at the top of the list. And I cover stories like this because, guys, I grew up in Western Washington. I had a great time living there. The outdoor activities, the coffee, the people. I spent a lot of time in Seattle, Olympia, Eugene, Salem, Portland, and to see how far a lot of these cities has fallen really breaks my heart. We're going to get into this news story about the survey that they put out. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And if you live in the Pacific Northwest and you see all this homelessness and you're watching this video, please share in the comments your experiences, what you've seen. I'd really appreciate it. Let's get into this news clip.
Homelessness, cost of living, safety. They're some of the biggest issues for Portland residents. That's according to a new survey released by the city, getting input from communities all across the board.
Now, Jamie Seymour here now, breaking down some of those results while also looking to why this was needed, Jamie.
Yeah, well, first off, with this survey, the city partnered with community organizations to make sure underrepresented communities' voices were heard, doing outreach to BIPOC residents.
Okay, let me say something about this whole BIPOC thing. BIPOC means Black and Indigenous people of color, and it is a red flag. It shows that any group that uses BIPOC really centers on identity politics, and any person that says the word BIPOC should not be taken seriously. That's just my personal opinion, but let's keep going.
But even with that extra outreach, then as the survey went out to thousands of Portlanders, only about 17% actually responded.
So 17% responded. You know what that means to me? It means that the majority of Portland residents don't think that anything is going to be done. So why am I going to waste my time filling out the survey? Portland has continually showed that they don't care about the people of Portland and the fact that they're suffering during this homelessness crisis. So why even waste my time to fill out the survey?
Just over 5,000 people. And one part of the survey looked at the city's greatest challenges. And the top answers didn't really come as a surprise since they have been issues brought up repeatedly in recent years, including homelessness, high cost of living, and feeling safe in your community.
44.5% say homelessness is the biggest problem. 44.5%.
Now, when it comes to the right solutions for the homelessness crisis, a majority of those who responded want to see more substance abuse and mental health clinics and subsidized apartments, while results also pointed the need for outreach and education, as some didn't know rental and housing assistance programs exist.
So let me talk about that real quick. Okay, you need more mental health clinics and more mental health professionals, but that's going to take tax dollars, and a lot of these people that say that, they don't want their taxes to increase. Then they're talking about more low-income housing for homeless people. Okay, but where are they going to put it? Because a lot of these people saying that, oh yeah, not in my backyard. So where? And then two, I can't stand how people say that being homeless is difficult. You know what's difficult? Being a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. That's difficult. You getting up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to your job at 7, having to deal with your boss, having to deal with your coworkers, having to pay your taxes out of your paycheck, being a good husband, being a good wife, be a good partner, raising your kids right. That's hard, okay? Being homeless is not hard. And then how many of these people do actually are done with being homeless, don't want to be homeless anymore? I would argue the majority of these people are perfectly fine with being homeless because they know how hard being a law-abiding citizen is.
Another topic looked at the city's government itself and whether residents feel it's effective. A majority at just over 50% disagreed or strongly disagreed, while close to 24% agreed or strongly agreed.
50% of the people surveyed said that Portland is not doing a good job and doesn't have an effective government.
Mayor Wheeler released a statement saying, quote, "This survey helps us gain valuable insight into how these issues impact communities in Portland differently," adding the findings will help them budget and look at city council priorities ahead of the changes to the city's charter. They're going to try to do this survey every other year, and in between, they'll do focus groups.
Well, they're going to have to improve something because you said only 17% of people responded to this survey. So it begs the question, how much did this cost?
Well, the city says they received about $60,000 in their budget in 2019 to help fund this survey, which was done last year.
Yeah, and you said no one's really surprised by the outcome of it. I mean, you know, that homelessness is, so I was wondering, it begs the question, do we need to spend money on surveys like this? If we all
So let me tell you guys something about surveys and studies, okay? My day job, I've seen a lot of these studies done, and a lot of these studies are just ways for politicians and people that work in city government to show that they did something to assess the issues with the public. A lot of these studies, they do the studies, they pay the money, and then all the studies get put in a binder, and it just sits on someone's bookshelf in someone's office somewhere. And that's exactly what's going to happen with this study here. The administration can say, see, we did all these studies to assess our citizens and their needs. That's what these studies are about. Rarely does something come from these surveys and these studies.
all kind of know
Right.
what it is. Anyways, very interesting. Thanks, Jamie.
Yep.
Homeless.
So this isn't going to lead to any major change when it comes to homelessness. The city of Portland still has a super liberal government that's just going to throw, because here's the thing about Washington, Oregon, and California. There's a homelessness problem in all three of those states, and they're just throwing money at the problem. Hundreds of millions of dollars with no, without really measuring effectiveness or without any concrete goals. Okay? And this study is just another $60,000 on the pile. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.